Alpha. In this video, we are talking about the Mutant Ape Yacht Club NFT bull run, which has pushed the floor of Mutant Apes over 10 ETH. As usual, if you enjoy this content, click the like button, smash the subscribe button. It really helps us out. And as always, nothing in this video is financial advice. We are not financial advisors. The NFT space is incredibly risky, so do your own research and invest at your own risk. How's it going, gentlemen? Mutant Ape Yacht Club, what a morning.
What a morning.
What a morning.
Wake up every morning and I'm a little bit richer, huh?
Yep.
Is that how every day is in NFT land?
It's great,
not every day.
Yeah, it definitely makes you forget the painful moments, you know, the good days like this. Yeah, dude, I mean, absolutely bonkers impressive in a good way that Mutant Ape Yacht Club is doing so well. I mean, it's the strongest project right now.
Yep.
In the top 10.
Doodles.
Yeah, strongest project top 10. I mean, it's stronger than Punks right now. I'm talking about like on a 30-day window. It's stronger than Apes.
Yep.
It's stronger than Bored Apes.
Stronger than Apes.
It is. Like in terms of just like a blue chip project that's just been doing a slow, steady grind up, which is great to see. Almost 11K unique holders on a 10 ETH floor. That's crazy in a good way. And a lot of people, I mean, we're going to get into all of this, but I mean, a lot of people, this is their ticket into the club. They can't get in at, they can't get in at 50. Most people can't. Most people can't get in at 10. But what we're going to talk about is at a point in time, you could have gotten these for 3. And that was probably one of the best trades of Q4 2021.
Basically, that was it. We've been discussing it on the show nonstop. And when you think about it, a gigantic monster version of something probably has more strength in general. So it's not surprising to see the floor appreciate as represented as monsters, real life monsters do.
Nothing gets you more likes on Twitter than having a literal worm jacket and then like snot coming out of your nose. That's how you get engagement.
Worm face.
Yeah.
So yeah, this has been quite the banger for a project, and we've just been discussing it the entire time over and over and over during our morning Twitter shows. We always discuss Mutant Apes underpriced.
And specifically in the September best NFT projects to buy in September, we did low tier, mid tier, high tier. This was the high tier bet, and it was under 3.5 ETH at that time.
Damn,
we didn't buy more.
Geniuses.
We should have bought more.
I was thinking all my money should just go into mutants and walk away. C. Crumb says 48.49 is fucking sick. Yeah, that is what $1.4 million will get you. So I would hope that it looks at least that good. This one I prefer, actually, 1796. These are some of the rarest mutant apes that are out there.
And what did you need? The tier 3 vials? What were they called?
Yeah, these are the M3
mutants.
So these are basically the best apes. Like the M3 mutants are effectively the one of ones of the Bored Ape Yacht Club collection. So
Doesn't
this
get
is
better than that.
Yeah. So what each one corresponds to a fur type of Bored Apes. So this one right here is which fur type, Nick? Do you know off the top of your head?
What? No, these one of ones don't refer to that. That's like looking at the next one.
They do.
Click on that second one with that case.
So this is the zombie. This is the zombie fur type right here. In M3 form right here.
Click on the properties.
Sure.
When did these mint again? October, September?
Might have been August.
August.
Don't think that's the case.
This is Mega Swamp right here.
It's not a fur type. None of these.
Yeah, I think these are one of ones.
It's
these are
not
one
a
of
reference.
ones.
Like,
but you are right. All the other traits do have reference points. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but you both are talking to the guy who has the 11th highest Mutant Ape Yacht Club sale of all time.
Unreal. Can you walk our audience through that?
It's right there, on the right, bottom right.
This one with the pizza
down
with the hat.
Yeah, that one with the laser eyes.
You sold this for how much?
88.8 ETH. Magical number. The magical number. But now it's starting to look like it's fair value or getting there. It's getting there just based on how Mutant Ape Yacht Club is doing. So that makes me happy because that means that it was probably a win-win trade. But what is really interesting about it is that
$355,000 is definitely a win-win trade, in my opinion, for this JPEG.
yeah, win-win. Everyone won out of that one. What's interesting though is that the mutants got to close to a 10 ETH floor out of the gate when they launched and pumped. And now we're returning to that. But that's just a great example of your Nick, you preached this, Pia, you've talked about this too, is your buy-in price has such an impact on your gains and also eventually your sale price. But like if you got in the initial pump of Mutant Ape Yacht Club 4.5 months ago, you're just now getting back to break even. You're actually probably down a little bit in ETH terms, like in USD terms, because of the ETH depreciation in price. But if you accumulated these in it was October when they were 3 ETH, probably one of the best plays out there. And now you're up 3x. That's really, really big. And there were some smart people in the space, OGD Farmer, Nate Rivers. They accumulated heavily at those prices and they talked about it on Twitter. So a lot of times you don't even have to come up with good analysis or decision making yourself. You can ride on the coattails of other and being like, hey, there's some big brains buying mutants at 3.5 ETH. And look at that story now. And what's really impressive too is that their like ratio to the price of Bored Apes is getting tighter, getting close to maybe like a 5-to-1 ratio, 4-to-1 ratio, which kind of seems reasonable.
At least 4-to-1. 25% of whatever the Bored Ape price is feels very reasonable, and we're still at 14%. So
I think 25,
sorry, not 14.
30% is reasonable.
Yeah,
14 ETH is what it would be, is what I meant. If we were at 25%, 17 ETH is where we'd be at 30%. So,
and then I think a lot of people are also buying these, not just because they want to get into the Ape Club, but because, and I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. If you told me I'd say that out loud a year ago,
Ape Club.
Yeah, people were paying, $50,000 to get in the Ape Club. I'd be like, you guys are clowns. But now we are in a magical, we're in a magical world. Yeah. But the thing is that people are also buying these in anticipation of the Q1 Ape token drop.
Yeah.
And if I've learned anything this year, if SOS can get up to a top 300 coin, if ENS is now currently 116th top coin out there, you got to think the Ape coin has the potential to do some crazy stuff. And you would think that people are going to buy into the sell pressure right away. There's going to be people like in Ape community is already a diamond hand community. That's how the prices got to where they are.
Diamond
so now
hands,
you give,
except for me.
Yeah, Nick, you still have one. Shut up. And what's going to be wild about it is that like it could easily be a top 100 coin, just based on the things that we've seen this year. And so buying into this, you're actually probably getting back a good percentage of
it should be
your buy price.
Yeah. I think it'll become one of the it could go. This is going to sound crazy, but you have to operate in this world where NFTs become the common modality of crypto, basically.
Yeah,
and if you assume that's the case, and it's as or more relevant than Bitcoin, then my general thought is that this could become a top 10 token. And then you have to start operating under how much is a Bored Ape at that point in time, how much is a Mutant Ape at that point in time. And we could see a price drop after this event in the actual NFTs where they go back in a price. That's a common thing we see with airdrops and claims and what have you. But yeah, I agree with you, Nick. I think that this thing has potential. If Dogecoin can be a top 10 coin at one point in time, or Shiba, like Ape seems like a no-brainer. Because let's do a little experiment. If you have $1,000, right? If you have $100 right now, can you buy an Ape? No. If you have $1,000, can you buy an Ape? No. If you have $10,000, can you buy an Ape? $20,000? No. But what can you do? You can buy the Ape token. You can ape in
to the token. You can, but that's going to create so much liquidity because
anybody out there, something. You don't
Exactly.
doge into
You can't
something.
doge, but you can ape into something.
You can
You
ape
got
into it.
$200 and you get $200 of exposure to the ape community. Now you can do it with a token. So I think that's also a part of the price action as well.
And
So
think of the
I think
utility. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there, Pia.
no, it's all good. I mean, just on the token front, right? I think that you guys are totally right that we could see like the ape token really having its position in the crypto market big time. You could see a situation where for ape related events, like a future event at NFT NYC, buying merch, all things that happen in the ape ecosystem, you'll be required to pay with that ape token. And I think that you're actually going to see like a tokenization of the world in many ways where, you know, like the prominent brand of a certain sector releases a token, and then all the sub brands of that sector require you to pay for the goods and services with that token. And we could see this with Bored Apes, and it could be kind of a trendsetter in that way because really this token is right around the corner and there's already a built-in infrastructure. So this could end up being a trendsetter for like a Supreme or even a bigger brand than like a
Dude,
Supreme.
Yeah, Supreme doesn't even.
Yeah, like
This is
way bigger
incomparable.
brand,
What
way
what
bigger brand than that.
So
Yeah.
what I'm thinking is, what if they don't even? What if it's not even ERC 20? I'm just spitballing here, but like the ape entitles you to receive the airdrop of this new token, and that token becomes the utility is not potentially just built within the ape ecosystem, but via partnerships as well. And Mutant Ape Yacht Club has the ability to facilitate some of those different partnerships. Bored Ape Yacht Club, I should say. So I don't know what it's going to be, but my general thought is that they have the potential. Look, everyone, including us, is trying to build utility out of the NFTs that they drop and potential tokens that they drop. And where you really want to look is you want exposure to the top ones because they're going to be able to facilitate some of the biggest partnerships and opportunities basically in this space. And who's at the top of doing that right now? Bored Ape Yacht Club. They surpass Larva Labs as it applies to this, and I think will surpass Larva Labs as it applies to facilitating those different partnerships, involving the community, delivering money back and value back to the community. They're the leader, and they will continue to demonstrate themselves as the leader. And at some point, people are gonna like the mass consumers are not going to say, "I want a crypto punk." They don't. They're gonna want a Bored Ape basically or access to this specific item.
Yeah, it's definitely got the younger generation too, right? I'd say CryptoPunk maxis probably trend a little older in age, and then Bored Ape Yacht Club maxis trade a little bit younger in age. So there's a
Maybe
cool
in
hipness
feeling.
factor. There's a cool hipness factor.
Well, we're all. I think we're more closer to either middle aged or approaching middle age, but still
I'm
wearing
young,
hoodies
baby.
like myself.
I'm young.
And so
Well, here's a couple things. So when the token drops, I think it's a no-brainer. Like if you are online when like the moment the token drops, like it'll probably, in my opinion, probably be a stealth sort of like drop. Like most of these things are, like you won't know when the token hits, and then everyone will go crazy when it does. Obviously, in my opinion, I think buying it as soon as it drops, even if you don't have an ape, is going to be a great move. I think that buying the token in general is going to be a good way to kind of track the progress of Bored Ape Yacht Club and put yourself in a position to accumulate enough of an asset that can eventually perhaps be traded for an actual mutant ape or a Bored Ape, right? So you can sort of dollar cost average in, you can buy into dips, you can buy on the way up, you can buy on the way down to eventually put yourself in a position to, you know, it's kind of like a fractionalized, like kind of road to a Bored Ape. Other thing I want to say about Mutant Apes that I've been saying since the very beginning is that I've long believed since I first saw the artwork of the Mutant Apes that from an intellectual property perspective, because if you don't know, so much of the Bored Ape Yacht Club brand is built on the fact that you 100% own the intellectual property of your Bored Ape, and you can build businesses and, you know, you can brand yourself around that ape and actually profit from it. I think that the Mutant Apes are better for the sort of hardcore creatives, the people that are interested in making comic books, video games, slasher movies, or TV shows. I love the M1 grin Mutant Apes. Mine is not an M1 grin. I wish it was. I've been showing M1 grins on this stream, and I could totally see like a sort of slasher movie, horror movie type of thing, the type of thing that Guillermo del Toro or Robert Rodriguez would direct, although I don't think either of them would actually like incorporate a Bored Ape, but maybe the next generation of creatives. I could just totally see something that takes place in a movie theater or like in a fictional town that's like a zombie slasher movie with these characters built into it. Whereas the Bored Apes, I could see being more corporate friendly. You saw Jimmy Fallon buy a Bored Ape, Arizona Iced Tea bought a Bored Ape. They could throw that on a can, kind of a different bag. You know, someone might open like a Bored Ape restaurant or something like that. But I like the mutants for the hardcore creatives.
I just wanted to acknowledge someone in the comments who was saying that we're pumping a 10 ETH NFT when lemons are 0.1 and about to blow up. What's going on? And I just want to say, we don't pump things here. Instead, we actually wait until we've bought and we're nearing the top, and that's when we tell you about those trades.
But bro, you could buy 100 lemons for one mutant.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest. You could give me 10,000 lemons in exchange for a mutant, and I'm not going to take that offer. So, but good luck with your lemons. Inherently, just in case you're wondering, also there's sort of a term. At least we describe this in America. I don't know if this exists wherever you are, if you're in America or not. But when it comes to lemons, when you describe that as like a car as a lemon, it means that it's broken. And in general, that's what I think about that project. So whereas mutants have strength that underpin it. Yes, it's a defect, but they're defective yet powerful. And a lemon, on the other hand, is defective and broken. And typically
sour.
It never recovers. Like if you drive a lemon car off the lot, you're screwed. You're forever dealing with that lemon. You hit you ended up with something, a sour taste in your mouth, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and mutants are cool. Not some of them are weird looking, but there's some really clean ones out there. I'm actually my thesis on mutants. I own like 3-4 traits, which look super clean.
You still own those?
Yeah, I threw them in a fractional vault. We're actually in the process of getting them out right now.
Did you benefit a lot from that fractional vault?
No, because we put it in at the literal top of in August. If we had like built a fractional vault of like 10 of them when they were at like 3 ETH, then that probably would have like done a lot better. As a fractional art place, like they work best when like the price is neutral to up. Like if you put it in at the top, and the price goes down, then no one's really interested in buying it. But it was a really fun experiment. I definitely think that stuff's going to be valuable in the future. But anyways, yeah, I'm getting 3-4 traits out of there. And I think eventually Mutant Apes you'll start to see, and I'm sure there already is somewhat of it, but you'll probably see more and more of a divergence of the really clean mutants, right? Where they could be trading maybe 50% higher than the floor because they're just visually a lot more desirable.
Yeah, I mean, look at the floor now. You're going to see a lot of, and by the way,
look at the floor now. Huh? Look at the floor now. See where we're at. See where we were. See where we are now.
It's going up. But yeah, I mean, so my mutant actually has these worms coming out of the mouth. So I hate seeing the absolute bottom of the floor having that trait. But then, yeah, if you look, you see this trait a lot, which is like the droopy face or whatever. But then once you start to get deeper, that's when you start to see M1 grin and you see some of the more desirable traits. Although it does seem as though people are starting to have a more positive response to the other traits. I totally agree with Speculator that it definitely depends on the trait. And if you look, like this floor really is swarmed with that kind of droopy face traits. Yeah, similar to how Bored Apes had that eye coming out of their head trait at the floor also.
Yeah, and Esbon says, I'm surprised that M2s are so close to M1s, to be honest. And I completely agree with that. I think that the thing is that like there's not much of an
12, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like three ETH.
2.5.
2.5 ETH difference. So there is a difference, but like I think a lot of people expected the difference to be more. I just think that like visually, a lot of the M2s like aren't
Desirable.
desirable, and then easily differentiated even from M1s. Like, you know, it's not like I can be like, oh wow, that is for sure an M2. A lot of times I see like an M2, like it looks like a little cooler, but it's not this like clear difference sometimes. But then sometimes there's like really clean M2s. But yeah, that was interesting to me as well. I mean, this one looks kind of cool, right? Like it's not like you kind of don't want to like vomit when you look at it. I can't
M1
handle
grin.
I can't handle the worms, man. I saw a remember that like Nick at Night, or there was like a kind of scary show back in the day on like Nick at Night.
Are you afraid of the dark?
Are You Afraid of the Dark? And they had this one where this kid was like eating spaghetti, and then he like looked down the spaghetti and there's like worms moving around, and I can't do that shit. It's like right there now, like that'll make me throw up.
Classic. That's a classic.
Right there, there's another one.
Yeah.
So someone said, how do I quickly find out if it's an M1 or an M2? What you do is you want to look at it, and if it's an M1, you got yourself right there an M1. You can click on the properties. The easiest way is to click on the background, look at the properties of that item, and if the background says M2, then that right there is an M2. If it says M1, you got yourself an M1. So that's the way to approach it. And if you want to only browse M2s, as another commenter is sharing, you can just select those backgrounds from the properties on the buy now or on the marketplace. So yeah, I mean, these it's mutant season. My main thing here at this point is all that this demonstrates to me, and also another one to check out real quick is what the floor is on Bored Ape Kennel Club, which I think is approaching 4 at this point.
You're gonna see that creep up,
and that one's an irrational one, basically.
I disagree.
Okay, well, I'm about to explain why you're wrong, but so what tends to happen is people want access to the club, and they incorrectly assume that this grants you membership, which it doesn't. It legitimately does not give you access to Bored Ape Yacht Club membership at all. It has basically no perks, and you're a fool for buying one at an expensive price in general. That said, you know, if you like a collectible and you value it as a collectible because it is tangentially associated with the project, or on the sort of lower echelon, like if you like shopping in the merch shop to get the merch, but you can't afford the actual product itself, that's kind of what this is about, because you're not going to get anything else for owning one of these. But the
You
bottom
might get
line
price
is,
appreciation. You might. You probably
Okay.
will. Let's be real. You probably will, because
But
this
would
is a
you-
cool collectible in the Bored Ape Yacht
would you
Club.
rather get this or a doodle? The doodle is
I'd
about to
rather-
hit 4 ETH again. By the
I'd
way,
rather probably get a doodle.
and there you go. And that
Yeah, but
answers your question right there.
it doesn't answer the question. This is a cool collectible in the Bored Ape Yacht Club ecosystem. As Bored Ape Yacht Club and Mutant Ape Yacht Club continue to appreciate, this isn't going to just stay stagnant. It's going to appreciate. I understand it doesn't have the same quote unquote utility as the other two, but that doesn't change that it is a cool, culturally relevant, historically relevant collectible in the Bored Ape Yacht Club ecosystem that will always have a piece in history. You're not going to just see this thing go to zero.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. Melter Mike says you get the tokens, Nick, from owning the Kennel Club, and the
Is that
answer
true?
that's false. False
Okay.
information. Melter Mike, go do your research and then come back to me with some actual proof that there's any claim that makes any sense whatsoever, because it doesn't. So
I think like
next
visually the
statement.
kennel clubs look really cool. I mean, they're like the traditional ape traits, right? But there's
Yeah.
some uniqueness in there. But just like stylistically, they look really cool to me. I think that just the issue, not like, once again, you could buy these. It's just that you can't really use these as a profile pic. I haven't really seen many people do that. And then
No.
like positionally in the ape ecosystem, it is a little bit secondary. But having said that, I think that these things are great ways to get, like you said, Pio, exposure to the ape, because these things do follow in price when there's movements on the larger projects.
Here's what I would like to see out of the Bored Ape Kennel Club. If there was one thing that would be a cool perk for these for holders of Bored Ape Kennel Club would be a PFP version of the dog, the head chopped off,
Yeah.
not the full body, basically.
Because they look
if you had
cool. Yeah, I could see people rocking these as profile pics, but you're right. It has to be like kind of, you know,
head need present. You can't have a full dog. The dog you usually would put on the banner on Twitter, but just not your profile.
Great banner NFT.
Yeah, I mean, I think the dogs they're not going anywhere. You know, it's part of the board. It's an official Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT collectible. It's the second one after Bored Apes. These things are always going to be kicking around. They're going to go, like, if apes have a 125 ETH floor and mutants have a 40 ETH floor, these are going to have a 10 ETH floor.
No,
that's how it's going to work.
Bad purchase price, bad purchase decision. I would not follow our resident financial advisor down this path. I'm going to disagree. 10 ETH to me just seems irrational.
I'm talking about in the future, dude. I'm talking about zoom out, like in the future when we're looking at a $500,000 floor on the others.
I understand what you're saying. My main point is this. What happens is this is the collectible where you hang out in the world of disappointment. And so what we see is every single time this appreciates up to a drop, a lot of people are anticipating the Bored Ape airdrop that's going to happen sometime in Q1. So that's where we're seeing a lot of the hype right now and appreciation going. I think we're going to see Bored Apes appreciate to a 70 ETH floor on this run here, maybe a little bit higher. And in the process, we will see the Bored Ape Kennel Club appreciate in value. I think you are right, short-term PO, as it applies to that. But then what's going to happen is the people like Melter Mike who think that they're about to get an airdrop for this and are going to be so devastated and sitting with pain and regret that they're going to dump it and they're going to lose a lot of money. They're going to hate themselves. They're going to hate Bored Ape Yacht Club because they did not
hate the dogs.
They did not read the documentation.
Nick, did you have a dog growing up?
I own one of these dogs. I own
a real life dog.
No, I had 2 cats.
Okay, see, exactly. There we go. Explains it all.
Oh my god.
No, that's definitely not the situation here.
You own? Do you own what? So you own one? Does it match the ape that you still have?
No.
Dumbass. Just kidding. Wait, but don't you? If you have, by having both, there's a perk though.
There is by having an ape plus a dog. There's an additional perk. It's not clear what that is yet.
Maybe you're going to get a little enhancer to your ape airdrop. Little multiplier.
Yeah.
I may have to scoop one up. You know anyone that's trying to sell one for cheap? Below full floor.
You can probably throw some offers on that. Wait for these things go in hype cycles, and the Bored Apes have been sitting there for a while. By the way, we discussed apes flipping punks, and the punks have reversed that.
Back up to 65.
Pumped up to 65.5. Apes have been following, but not at the same pace here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. People saying that I'm a cat person. No, you're wrong. I just want to be clear.
No, he's totally a cat person. He's always talking trash about my actual dog. He's a cat person.
Not really.
Off stream, he has been bitter by the lack of successful cat projects. I didn't see the correlation until now. But the other day we were about to go on. He's like, it sucks that there's not more cat projects in the NFT space. And I was like, what? And then he was like, never mind. Let's get on there.
Yeah. And he was like, wait, would you want to make the Nifty Alpha like a cat related project? And we were just kind of like, I don't really know like how that would be relevant. He's like, oh yeah, just, floating the idea, just, brainstorming, floating the idea. It all makes sense now, Nick.
That never literally was a conversation. That said, Gutter Cat Gang, represent for them.
Oh, I forgot about that.
They're a great project.
Through that.
And so I would say that one, would I rather own a Gutter Cat Gang or a dog here? I'm going to probably say Gutter Cat Gang.
I'll tell you what, you don't want to be in a room with some Gutter Cat Gang holders that don't like you.
Yeah, you definitely don't.
Those guys hit hard. They roll deep. That's for sure.
They hit hard. Their eyes are going in like different directions. You know what I mean?
What drug they're on? No, I'm kidding. The floor price on them is 4.75.
Yeah,
and the Gutter
very
Cats?
strong.
Yeah, very strong.
So the move would have been to just hold all of the ones that you minted, Nick, until now.
The move
I'm
for
gonna get
me,
out of this stream right now. I'm gonna hop off this stream. Thanks, Pio.
In
That's
general,
awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I had 30 of them. Fuck.
Dude, that's crazy.
Dude, I feel the same way about my dogs. I sold a dog at 0.75.
I sold a gold skin dog pre-reveal for 0.58. Okay, so don't come to me with your problems, Nick.
I'm just saying I've made a lot of these mistakes. I just sold an ape yesterday for below what the floor is today. So that's where we're at with that. We make these mistakes all the time. In general, here's the number one rule: never sell a blue chip NFT. That's what you're supposed to. That's what you're.
I'd rather own a gutter cat gang than a dog.
Same here.
100%.
Same here.
I guess. I mean,
Pio would buy a dog. We understand he's foolish, but that's the sort of decision.
No, I think that's fair. I mean, gutter cat is okay. I just think that what they've done with like the pigeons and all the other
I think that was a
things
miscalculation. That was a miscalculation.
Weird.
Yeah. They shouldn't have done that. They should have taken more of like maybe a mutant ape approach, right? Where it's still like the gutter cat gang, but it's like psychedelic, themed or something like that. They should have done that. So I agree. I would think that maybe their price would even be a little bit higher, maybe if they had.
The problem is a lot of these people have tried to follow the Bored Ape Yacht Club playbook rather than create their own playbook,
like innovate on top of it.
As the Dead Fellas founder Betty the other day was saying. Now that said, Dead Fellas floor is far less than Gutter Cat Gang, and so I sit there thinking. Now that said, Gutter Cat Gang has lower supply.
Lower supply, yeah.
So if you 4x the price of Dead Fellas, then what you'd end up with is 2.4, still lower. So yeah, and also by the way, Alex Broer, you asked, does the stream start at the same time every day? The answer to that is no. We sort of change it every single time to keep you confused and on your toes because it's practice for how you operate in the NFT market.
That's right.
So when you got to be ready to go at any given time, as we've said again and again, my fiance doesn't like the tagline diaper season, but I'm just saying that's where sort of we've been operating. And if you're not prepared to operate on that level,
James just said Nick was wrong. Dogs qualify for token Gargamel.
Send me a link.
Gargamel said it.
Send me a link.
So you fucked me, Nick, because I would have bought Ape. I would have bought Kennel Clubs at the exact bottom. I would have bought them, and I'd be up so much. But you told me false information. Would you like to make an apology?
No.
Okay, that's
what
fair.
A jerk.
No, I mean, I'm not going to apologize for any of my calls because I keep delivering straight hot fire with my calls.
You do.
I literally call the direction of all these different things. And so I just want everyone else to express gratitude towards me and bow down at my feet to recognize that and thank me for everything that I've provided, during this entire NFT bull run of 2021, and probably it looks like it's going to go into 2022. It seems like we may be in for a second year of
Apes.
NFT degen season.
Yeah.
So apparently there's a screenshot that says the whole ecosystem will qualify. So I guess that would include dogs, but obviously at like a lower multiplier. You know what we should do? We should do a video on like theory crafting the ape airdrop and just kind of thinking how, if we were in their shoes, how would they do it? Like what's the multiplier on owning a Bored Ape versus a mutant ape versus a kennel versus having multiple versus having maybe a set? Like what are different things that they may be doing on that? Looks like Gutter Cat Gang is also following in the footsteps of the apes, and they're going to do a gang token.
Real quick, I want to add one other thing just to acknowledge here is that Elderly Ape Retirement Club is 4x the floor of Croaks. So I just want y'all to keep that in mind, put that in your head, stew on that one for a little bit when you're thinking about, does this market act rationally? Just think about that one. And someone says that I provide the least amount of value out of these guys every single live. That's a fair, that's
Obviously, you didn't tune into yesterday's show. If
you're entitled to your
pumped.
opinion. You're entitled to your opinion, and I'm entitled to mine. These are all opinions. There's no objective facts here. So I just want y'all to know that I am one of the greatest. So
that was an on the nose one. That guy's pretty funny.
So Brian Brinkman in the Discord, by the way, last one. We've gone on a little tangent here, but I just want to acknowledge him for a moment to say that he said we were right to sell Creature World. He called Pio out for saying that, but I think I was the first to say that.
Wait, what do you mean?
In terms of sell Creature World, it's below 1 ETH at this time.
Yeah.
And I'm expecting that one to drop to a solid 0.5 here. That's where we're headed. Shout out to 3 asterisks for the tip, by the way. We really appreciate it. But in terms of, it's below 1 ETH. And that's what we've been expecting. And what we've been saying is sell your creatures, buy some mutants, and look where we are today. Look where we are today.
Real quick on the creature front.
Have I ever had a bad call?
The reason why, real quick tangent on creature to kind of fill people in, my opinion on what's going on there, right? So we saw that thing basically since creatures minted. Within the first 24 hours of creatures minting, they went to a 1 ETH floor. It was like an immediate 1 ETH floor, and it held/ripped to about a 4 ETH floor. We bought in at 1.3. Kicks actually sold the top, like approaching 3 or 4. Me and Nick held. Me and Nick both got out at 1.85. I believe that the drop from 1.3, which it came back down to 1.3 to 0.85, this half ETH correction is directly related to the artist doing a Twitter space a few days ago, where the tone and vibe of the Twitter space might have worked in the traditional art world, the art gallery, Christie's, fancy parties, glasses, mustaches, that whole world. I think it would have worked there, but you have to know your audience, and you have to know that most of the people in the NFT world that buy and deploy a lot of capital are like crypto bros, like degen traders, flippers, investors that are looking for appreciation. And when they heard that, I think that they realized that that wouldn't connect with this world. If the traditional art world decides to start aping in and making purchases north of $6,000 for digital JPEGs, game over, right? Absolutely game over. But the way it stands right now, if you expect crypto bros to have a response to that sort of approach, it ain't going to happen.
One other thing I just want to make really quickly address. Wuda, his Twitter account is Ashi Wuda, basically said, Nick, do some research and get back to me. Arrogance is a terrible look. Fortunately, I come back for Pio. And what he included here was 2 screenshots, and I just want to acknowledge this real quick. The first was Frenchie007 asking Gargamel for token, will Macy and Baxi be involved, aka including the dogs? And Gargamel said, yes, entire Basie ecosystem. I just want to qualify 2 things real quick. One, look, I don't care if you come back for me. If you don't get my humor, maybe you get one of these 2 guys' humor. Mine is a superior one, but whatever, to each their own. Second thing I want to address with this is he does not explicitly say that dogs by themselves are going to get a perk. Maybe they do. And I will be proven wrong at that point in time. And great. Ashi Wuda, I don't know what your username is here on YouTube, but whatever the case is, great. Buy a dog, hold on to it. But if you don't get the perks that you were expecting, do not come back here crying about it. Actually, please come back here, cry about it in the comments, and let us know. I want to see your pain that you're experiencing in that moment, because I was right, and I want to rub that all in your face. Okay, so thanks for supporting us, and thanks for taking the time to do that research for us. We really appreciate it. It's people like you that keep this show going.
Chris Smith said Pio is cool. His name gots to change though. LOL. Yo, fuck you, Chris. That's my name, bro.
Yo, your name blows, dude. You need to get a stage name, dude.
It's literally my name. What do you want me to just say? Hey, I'm Jerry. Get the fuck out of here. No, I'm just kidding, Chris. Lots of love. Glad that you like me, but I guess don't.
Maybe he
like
wants a
my...
little bit more flair to the PO, like Pump It PO. That's a good name. Pump It PO.
You don't like Italians, Chris? Come on.
Melter Mike wants an apology. Look, I still stand by my statement about these Kennel Club, Bored Ape Kennel Club. I will stand by this to the bitter end.
Yeah, I mean, there seems to be in the chat that there's like, people. This isn't for sure either way. Like David Crypto says, IMO dogs will be a multiplier, no token on their own. Jesse says, originally when mutants dropped, they said owning an original ape plus dog would yield more ape coin than an ape alone.
Ape
so like
plus
dogs
dog.
may be like a multiplier, not a standalone. But once again, we don't know.
Exactly. So Ashi Wuda, whatever your name is, I just want you to know that I still stand by my statement that I will continue with my arrogance for as long as this show exists, because I have not been proven wrong about this. I am the greatest.
Someone also told me to take the tag off of the sweatshirt. This is just built into the sweatshirt. I can't take it off. That's the style.
Why are people giving us like life advice? We don't need life advice. Okay. It doesn't matter how our life is doing.
I feel like you tuned into this channel for life advice because you realize that we're living the best lives ever. And that's what you're looking to replicate. So
my life is a disaster, but my NFT life is all-time highs. And that's usually how it works.
This stream has gotten off the rails. People clicking on it now that say Mutant Ape Yacht Club, and we're just defending
what the hell are
ourselves.
These guys talking about?
We're defending. I'm defending my birth name. I'm defending the name that I was born with. Nick is defending his sense of humor. I'm apparently defending clothes. Kix is the only one not getting wrecked by the audience right now.
Yeah, give me a little hate. Someone talk some shit. Some guy in the comments said actually that my mustache was dope and that his wife would hit it or something. And I love it.
This has been the Nifty Alpha.
I appreciate that, by the way. I've been working on this mustache for a while.
Lick the like.
Said I'm the nerdy DJ. Get out of here.
And we appreciate you coming here for informed insight, well-researched on this space. That's what this channel is all about. So we really appreciate your support, and it enables us to continue doing the research that we keep putting in every day into these projects.
Jillian Shaw said Kix is the Make-A-Wish Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh, fuck.
Look, so I didn't know that this was just literally a roast show. If you're going to roast us, you better smash the subscribe button. You better lick the like button. What the hell is going on here? I didn't sign up for this the day after Christmas. Someone just wrote nerds. Hey, lick the like button if you're going to say that. Smash the subscribe button.
Stefan said, you either grow a full beard or shave that teenager balls hair, Captain Kix. That's a good one.
Someone called me a boomer, and they're definitely correct about that. I'm the oldest
he's getting
one here.
Fucking old.
I am the oldest one here. So technically, I'm not a true boomer, but
let's just say he has a pill pack that he takes daily.
I actually do. I've been doing that for many years, though. So maybe I've always been a boomer at heart. So there we go. I got to take those vitamins.
Bart Simpson.
What was that one? I looked like I ate Bart Simpson. Wasn't that what it was?
Julian Charge is rivet. Let's go.
The Global Ginger said he meant nuclear nerds because I made a bag on that. So you're back in my good graces, Global Ginger. You have a pretty cool name too. Lick the like button.
Have a great one. Peace out.